On 3, 2, 1.
It all depends on your skill.
CFM Radio.
CFM Radio. We are back. It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Yo, yo. CFM Radio, video game, music, and news. Here for your Wednesday evening.
Video game, music, and news on Wednesday, as always. I'm your host, Vector, founder, Clusterfuck Media. With me, as always, is the mighty Drix with his mighty tunes. Drix, how are you?
Doing good, man. Enjoying PS5 and pinball simultaneously. Came in 5th in my last local tournament on Sunday. That was a good time.
Ooh.
Always is. Participate in your local scene.
Of course.
And spamming this interesting poll that we've had going on what to stream next on our Instagram stories and TikTok and the like.
And Drix, I gotta say, tallying up earlier when we were checking out all the votes, thank you everybody, by the way, who voted. Everyone who voted, thank you very much. Those polls were up on all of our socials, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of it. Up on YouTube, all of it. And right here. And you know, it was, I gotta say, it was a lot closer than I thought it was gonna be. I thought the people were gonna, either way, we're gonna decide in a landslide. Either gonna be modern or retro. You know how these go. But that wasn't the case.
Yeah, it came down to the wire. It was pretty neck and neck, actually, after we counted everything up.
Which is pretty awesome. Nice to see that there was a good mix of what people wanted to do. So you know what? How I see it is, this next one we'll do, Drix, we'll do some retro games. Of course, the people have spoken. They want to see some more retro games. But after we're done with this next round of retro games, maybe we'll switch it up. Maybe we'll do something modern. A lot of games have come out over the last year and a few months, right? There's a lot to pick from, and honestly, not gonna lie, guys, there's been a lot of good sales.
Yeah, they do hit the discounts eventually and land in that bin for us to grab.
Absolutely. Hey, you know what? Games like Skull and Bones, they're already $40. Like,
yeah. We had a nice sale on Unicorn Overlord recently too.
Yes.
Our last review.
$40. Another one, that early game of the year contender for me. $40 for it, can't go wrong. But you know, I think when it comes to going wrong, one of the things that we all know is wrong, but unfortunately inevitable, Drix, online services must go away. Bandwidth is not free, neither is server space. So it's not today, but it was laid to rest over the last, I can't even really say it was laid to rest, because I do believe there are still people right now playing Splatoon 1 in private matches, because the next 10 years of maps have been laid out on an automatic clock. It's the Wii. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the Wii U and 3DS online services. They are no longer available.
Yes, sincere condolences, gamers. Another online service has shut down.
Another online service has shut down. And it's unfortunate. You know, it's unfortunate. A lot of people loved... Okay, so I'm just going to say it straight up. A lot of people loved Mario Maker.
Yeah.
A lot of people loved Mario Maker, Drix.
The people that love it really love it.
They really loved it.
All those levels,
guys,
and make more.
Yeah, you know, and it's funny when you think about Mario Maker and like the legacy it's left on essentially the modding and homebrew scene. You know, you had like we have like Mario modding was inspired.
It's been around for years,
and then it grew.
Nice tip of the hat.
It grew so much because of Mario Maker, because people were inspired by what they played on Mario Maker. They wanted to take it to the next level. Drix, incredible game. Also, like I was saying earlier, can't forget Splatoon. You're seeing Splatoon 3 on the B-roll right now, but Splatoon, the first Splatoon game on the Wii U. And you know what? Say what you will. I think every Splatoon game is good. I love Splatoon 3, but there was something about that first time, Drix.
Yeah. Bit of nostalgia for it.
Little bit of nostalgia for it. And, of course, what kind of laid to rest segment would this be for these online services if we didn't talk about all the Pokemon we lost in the Pokemon Bank shutdown?
Yeah. Hope you got them out while you could. If you were raising them, save those babies.
Save the babies. I hope you were able to save your babies. your Poke Babies from the Pokemon Bank shutdown. Drix, there are some Pokemon you can't get anymore. You needed to get them when like the game was out, like the Ash Greninja, a couple of transformations from other Pokemon. I think one of the Pokemon, I think it's one of the Pichus that you can get, a special Pichu from Heart Gold, Soul Silver. It's got like a weird ear. Like, you can't get those anymore. And so,
lost parts of a generation, really.
Yeah, like there's a lot of, I guess you could call them limited edition Pokemon. And don't even get me started if you actually collect those, the Pokemon, like the legendary Pokemon that they dropped online all over the 3DS generation. Oh my God, there are so many. The DS and 3DS generation full of so many Pokemon, legendaries, special versions of Pokemon that have items and moves that just you can't get anymore. They're just in some cases the move or item in question doesn't exist in the newer generations. So
wow.
Super duper rare, So there was a lot of, like you said, Drake, save the babies. If you didn't save your babies, I mean, shit, I'm sorry.
Yes. A eulogy for them.
A eulogy for the Poke Babies. And you know what, Drix? We're gonna turn things around because we have to mourn for something else, but it's not necessarily boo-hoo. It's more ha-ha, because Ubisoft, they came out with this beautiful Star Wars Outlaws trailer. You're seeing it on the B-roll right now. Graphics look great. It's a big Star Wars open world. Drix, not only was this game met with the regular controversies of what the hell is up with these crappy mocap graphics. The girl doesn't look anything like her real model. Coming off a Stellar Blade, her real life model, because she's based off a real person. Coming off a Stellar Blade, and the Star Wars, what is it? The Star Wars Jedi series, I guess you could call them. There's 2 games. But that dude his character in the game looks just like him. And people say that this girl doesn't look like her model that she's based off in real life. I say leave it to the beholder, but Drix, the real deal is the fumbling of not only the launch options, because there's like 5 different launch options. And if you get because of course video games need to have the $70 version, the $80 version, the $120 version, right?
Yes, in case you'd like to pay more.
But it also has a curious option where you get the same benefits of the deluxe edition, the digital deluxe edition, for your $17 a month Ubisoft On Demand service price. It's rolled right in there into their Game Pass-esque service.
Wow, yes. Bring the attention over here so we can seclude you and charge you for in-game items.
Yeah, so if that kerfuffle was not enough, Drix, the launch date, this was just the announcement. It was coming soon. And we now know that it will be coming much sooner, or not much sooner, I should say. We know exactly when it will be coming.
Yes.
Courtesy of a Ubisoft leak.
Official release date showing up a little earlier than intended.
And this one's from IGN. The headline reads, quote, Star Wars Outlaws release date leaks online early, courtesy of Ubisoft itself.
Oh my.
So the original story, Drix, is from, so Gamatsu, they were tweeting over on X that the Ubisoft Japan YouTube for Star Wars Outlaws, the Japanese trailer said that the game is going to release August 30th, 2024 on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles.
Whoops.
Oops.
Was that just a oopsie edit that made it past the proofing?
I don't think we'll ever know. Well, actually, we might, because the updated story is the release date for the Star Wars Outlaws has now been announced properly by Ubisoft after it accidentally leaked it earlier today. And now Ubisoft now says, yes, August 30th. Here we go. Get ready.
That's, no such thing as bad publicity, right?
I guess. I mean, so here's the deal, Drix. The game looks kind of cool. I'm psyched for an open world Star Wars game, but I don't. With all the benefits of $110, $120, whatever the digital deluxe edition may cost, will you pay the $17 for 1 month of the service?
Yeah, that's one way to get a nice demonstration, and maybe just dive in and see if you like it first. See if you're hit by the Star Wars universe.
Drix,
if you really are looking to explore that one. I know a lot of people are.
Drix, you even get the 3-day early access period. Like the 3-day play early period if you're a member of the Ubisoft service.
But can you keep them? Can you keep
true.
Subscribers? Will
can you
enough?
Keep them? And that is the $1 billion question, as it would seem.
Yeah, worth somebody's billions.
Hey, if it's my money, I'd say Phil Spencer.
Yeah, no, him specifically.
Him specifically.
All bets in on Game Pass. We'll save that for later.
We'll say, yeah, we definitely have more to talk about when it comes to Game Pass. But what we do want to talk about right now is something that you played, Drix. I haven't played this quite yet. I would download it on my PlayStation 5. But before we get into some groovy jams, Drix, from what I understand, you checked out the Sandland demo. You're seeing it right here on the B-roll.
Oh yeah, this, of course I'm drawn by the Dragon Ball aesthetic. It has a cool cartoon style, but this demo, as far as an introduction to the game, is a bit of a limp handshake. So don't take anything that follows in like a super hard-hitting rating review context, because first of all, there's no story. You don't get to know any of the characters, but there is actually an anime you can watch if you want.
What?
Yeah, it's on Hulu. There is a Sandland TV show. So yeah, that's piquing my interest now. I need to dive into that. But there's not an opening. There's not even an opening cutscene. There is a cartoon, and it is elsewhere.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow. So how does this demo ease you in then?
It more or less doesn't, because there will be progression and experience and sort of this like survival vibe. So you're dropped into the desert, as the name implies. It is the opposite of Waterworld, where there's too much land and not enough water. And you're at level 15, so even in the demo, you don't really get any progression or experience. You see that it's there, you get to look at it, but it's centered more around the mechs and the vehicles that you drive. So there's a lot to explore, but there was, for the demo's purposes, there wasn't a lot to gain from it. So you get a feel for how hard the enemies are, pretty much. And it's like, it's all fun and games until you underestimate one or a group of them and you get jumped. But the cool thing is the demo gives you 3 vehicles. You get the
oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, a motorcycle, not too unlike the one that Bulma shows up in Dragon Ball. and then a mech and a tank. So humanoid, and big props over to the late great Akira Toriyama's mech design. Because that's really selling the gameplay here.
It really pops.
Yeah, not enough credit goes that way for that, but you get 3 mechs to ride around on, and it's not really with the trend of like character action games, at least not at first, and you don't really see it in the demo, because just based on the atmosphere and look of it, I was expecting to like beat people up like I was Dante and maybe rely on my friends whom you recognize from the anime sometimes. But no, this is really about the sort of Mad Max vehicle customization of it.
Oh, okay.
And then and of course plenty of map to explore. Like, I can only imagine the things you will stumble into and on top of, and the enemies you'll fight. You can wander off in any direction for what seems like days, and you'll see some stuff, but all the animals and people are just struggling to get by in the harsh environment. But eventually you do get to jump out of the vehicles and wander around an ancient ruin or what have you as Beelzebub, the child demon, and get involved with some fisticuffs and beat up monsters that way as you explore, which is cool. But this is just gameplay, only gameplay, and this is from what they presented is the core of the game. So if you're into vehicles, a little bit of combat, and exploring a giant map, getting lost in this land of sand, it's definitely something to check out.
So if it's all gameplay, how does it feel? Does the driving feel good? Is the combat nice? Did you get to experience combat in and out of the vehicle? Like, talk to me. Is there customizations? Talk to me about like the nitty gritty. Like, what does this demo have on display? Like, are you convinced?
So while you don't find any items, it is about the parts that you equip your vehicles with. So some of them, will favor armor or speed, and will control a little bit differently. The controls kind of remind me of like the Warthog in Halo.
Okay.
The motorcycle only goes in like forward and reverse, but the mech, they all feel pretty different. The mech is pretty slow. You might be seeing some of that in the B-roll, but he walks around like a grumpy old dude.
Yeah, he lumbers around,
but he
punches shit. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, and the tank is, it's a tank as good as an old Call of Duty game. It's pretty fun actually, but again, you can customize it for speed or armor or different guns. The motorcycle came with an option for like a shotgun or like a Gatling gun.
Oh, cool.
So I can only imagine the depth, and like you're definitely going to want to make some tweaks as you take on some of the bigger bosses and harder fights that you find in the desert. You can actually you can shoot like some of the projectiles out of the air too, which I thought was kind of neat.
All right.
There's like rockets coming at you, and you can actually do something about it. It seems like a pretty neat kind of Saturday morning cartoon way to explore and also get your dose of action in.
So how do the controls feel? Are they like tight and responsive? Are they like snappy? Is it like arcadey, or is it more like a gritty feel, like down to earth? Like, do I really need to treat this kind of like I am piloting like you said, the every vehicle has its own feel, and like the motorcycle only goes back forward and reverse, and I'm seeing it on the B-roll. You're really taking some really sharp, gnarly turns to acquire the target and hit him with a blast of shotgun blast. Does that like feel good to do, or is it a little bit clunky? Like, how is the driving? Driving in games is usually
a little slow.
Oh,
and I didn't catch on to the drift mechanic in the motorcycle first either. But yeah, it's a lot of you can call upon your traveling friends, and you kind of, there's a lot of like 2-button combinations. Like you have to hold the D-pad and pick a direction to pick a certain vehicle, or you can equip different special abilities and stuff, but they kind of take a while to recharge. Like the general cooldown is a bit on the longer side, So yeah, it's not, I wouldn't call it a fast game. It's really about surviving the long endurance test that is the desert.
Okay, so everything is much more like it's a lot more deliberate. Like you said, you're not doing like Dante Devil May Cry combos. You're not, but are you doing like Soulsy combos? Are you really committing to every attack, or is it more like that like Souls Light kind of thing where it's like, I'm throwing punches out there and they're big hits, but like I could move, like boost out of the way if I wanted to. Like, how is that? Is it like really gritty? Are you like really leaving yourself open when you're doing things like you're doing in the B-roll, like making big punches, going for grabs with the mech, or is that kind of snappy? Like,
no, it takes a bit too long, and you'll be punished if you miss like a big move or end up reloading at the wrong time.
Ooh, okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's it feels soulsy, definitely on the soulsier side of things, because even the voice lines in the game will tell you, you want to give yourself an advantage before approaching this group of enemies, and you want to kind of take them seriously, especially if there's a big one involved, and you don't want to be caught at a disadvantage, or like without hydration, stamina. Yeah, and it's I died a fair amount, depending on which vehicle you're using. You don't have like a lot of health unless you customize it in that way. So yeah, not in the demo so much, but the way you tweak out your vehicles will definitely make things harder or easier. But all in all, like kind of low volume with the actions and the speed.
Okay, so yeah, it's got that like survival, long haul, like you said, it's more like a survival game than like a character action style game. Like
it's not like the Dynasty Warriors I'm playing right now.
Right? Yeah, exactly. No, nothing like that. Hey, that sounds pretty fucking awesome though. That sounds a lot like that old Mad Max game on the PS4, like where it's like a survival game, but like it's all about the car. And like it's like an anime Pacific Drive. This looks like but in like the desert.
Yeah.
Like,
yep, with that classic Toriyama style.
Oh yeah, and hey, rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. I gotta say, the game looks great, and in motion, it looks like, you might say it's a little bit slow. That's why I had to ask if it was like really fast, because my God, it looks like you're doing like Twisted Metal high speed gunfight action over here. It's pretty crazy, but I think this looks pretty cool. I can't wait to try it out myself.
Yeah, get to it. It definitely piques my interest enough to make me want to pick this one up.
Nice, perfect. Well, that's Sandland from Drix. We got a demo out. He played the demo. It's out on PS5 and Xbox right now. But damn, Drix, I'm rocking out to what we got going on in the back. What is this jam?
This is a song called Bayside City from a game called Android Assault on the Sega CD.
Android Assault, Sega CD, CFM Radio.
We'll be back.
Media.
CFM Radio.
On CFM Radio, we are back.
We are back. That was from Ape Escape Pumped and Primed, a song called Piposaru's Theme.
Oh.
Also known as Gacha Mecha Stadium Saru Battle.
Is that the PSP one?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, fucking A. Hell yeah. That is such an underrated game. Like, dude. The PSP has so many good games. Like,
Yes.
I'll say it like that.
Soundtrack by Soichi Terada, once again returning for the role, and it's good.
Soichi Terada, we love that guy. But you know what? You know what I don't love, Drix? Child exploitation.
No, man, we gotta protect them kids.
Gotta
They're
protect them
everybody's
kids. And you know what? This next story that came out of the GDC last week from Eurogamer. And, it's kind of crazy because I gotta ask you, Drix, and this one might be a toughie. Is child labor okay when the kids think it's play?
They say people used to have paper routes and stuff. But I mean, if anybody's gonna make money off of it, hopefully it would go to the kids and the families. But... oof, yeah.
According to this headline, Drix, Roblox studio boss Stefani Corazza, his thoughts, they're plain as day. And the Eurogamer headline is, quote, Roblox studio boss, children making money on the platform isn't exploitation, it's a gift.
Yeah, I mean, if you have fun, you will never work a day, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna switch up the B-roll in a minute here. Here it is. But
yeah,
from the article,
if you get them while you're young.
Yeah,
while they're young, you can teach them anything, I guess.
When confronted about suspicion of unfair monetization towards user-created content, specifically content created by children using the platform, the studio boss said, quote, I don't know. You can say a lot of things, right? Like, you can say, okay, we are exploiting, child labor, right? Or you can say, we are offering people anywhere in the world the capability to get a job and even like an income. So I can be like 15 years old in Indonesia, living in a slum, and then now, with just a laptop, I can create something, make money, and sustain my life. You know what, Drix? I gotta say, he's not wrong.
He is not wrong. They can, host Roblox in places that don't have laws against that kind of thing.
They absolutely. Reading further, Karatza explains, quote, for them, hearing from their experience, they didn't feel like they were exploited. They felt like, oh my God, this was the biggest gift All of a sudden, I could create something. I had millions of users. I made so much money. I could retire. So I focus more on the amount of money that we distribute every year to creators, which is now getting close to $1 billion, which is phenomenal. Drix, I don't know about you, but I don't know any child content creator that's out here saying, you know what, my Roblox game made me $1 million and I can retire.
Yeah, wouldn't that just be sweet?
That would be sweet.
Yeah, definitely handing out some opportunities to get paid to be creative.
And he goes on in this article to say, to highlight the opportunities, of how people who do this as a hobby would later on go find jobs as programmers and game designers. And now Roblox themselves, Roblox corporate, they issued a response to this article, and you can read it at the top of the original article posting over on Eurogamer. Again, that headline is, quote, Roblox studio boss, children making money on the platform isn't exploitation, it's a gift. Their statement says, the stance by the company is clear. from the following part of the statement, because it has a lot of fluff in it. Of course, we're not hiring children, but
Yeah, they got to give it that spin, of course.
yeah, we got to give it the spin.
Otherwise
But
it won't work.
for my money, this is the meat and potatoes. Here we go. Quote, for the experiences that monetize, the majority are created by developers who are age 18 or older. Of the creators who are enrolled in the Roblox Developer Exchange DevX program, the overwhelming majority are over the age of 18. The average age for the top earning and or engaging developers is around 25 years old. In 2023, more than 90% of the top 1,000 experiences by hours engaged were owned by developers who are at least 18 years old. So, Drix, I don't know what this, what was this guy's name? Stefani Carazza. I don't know what this Stefani Carazza's guy's deal is when he's saying, oh man, I'm a kid and I'm an Indian kid living in a favela and I, make $1 billion on my laptop and I can retire. So, Drix,
Yeah.
Roblox officially
Smells a
says
little
that doesn't
funny.
exist. That person doesn't exist.
Really?
That's what it says. The top earners are over the age of 18, and the top earning
this
ones
is the
are around
majority.
25 years old. So I think it's safe to say that no one over the age of 16 is earning a significant amount of money off of Roblox.
Yeah. Oh, but they could though, couldn't they?
You know what, Drix? You got me there. They could.
Yeah.
They could. The possibilities are endless, Drix. Drix.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
kids. It's a gift, Drix.
Mm-hmm. I'll give you a paper route.
Yeah, I'll give you the Roblox paper route. Here's
Mhm.
your allowance.
Responsibility.
Now go buy more things use this money that you got from Roblox to go buy Robux.
Yeah. Maybe even. Maybe educate somebody. Make Roblox the classroom. I'm sure somebody's tried it. You
God.
can gamify anything, really.
You could gamify anything, man. If you could do it to Minecraft, you could do it to Roblox, I'm sure.
Yeah. And, intro to creative technology.
Yes, absolutely.
So, whatever
There's a-
drives your passion. sure.
Listen, here's the thing. I wouldn't say that there's absolutely no upsides to this. I would in fact say there's a lot of upsides to something like Roblox, allowing children to create and create things via coding, and create interactive experiences that they could share with their friends and family. There's a lot you could say about that, and a lot of it is positive. But the problem is, on my end, is that consistently Roblox has shown that their monetization practices are incredibly predatory, and they take a huge cut
Yeah.
of
That
whatever
cut,
you make.
Doesn't sound all that fair. At least in the percentages on the back end and stuff. And what can be done? What can you do? You either get the piece or don't.
And you know what, Drix? It's one of those things where I think that we're slowly going to start seeing gamified game development tools such as this. Back in the day, we had like RPG Maker on the PlayStation, right? Like
Yep.
this is like that on crack. Like this is you have like you could have they were talking this whole conversation was spurned when they were talking about AI development tools for the Roblox coding language Lua, which is a close relative of Python. So, there's a lot going on here in the development and creative realm. It's just for Roblox specifically, they really do take an arm and a leg from you. And I'm sitting here waiting for, Epic Games to step their game up with their Unreal editor.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for them to I'm waiting for Godot to step itself up with maybe a little bit more user-friendly of an interface. I'm waiting for Unity to step up and just become a little bit more, like its old self. But like,
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know.
the difference is in the contract, or are you just investing free time and getting a reward?
Right. Exactly. And like I said, not a terrible thing, kids making a lot of content on Roblox, but Also, not a great thing that one of those things where, again, top earners are are around the age of 25, and the overwhelming majority are enrolled in this developer exchange program are over the age of 18. That's directly from Roblox.
Yeah, they might even be paying taxes on these earnings,
right?
Especially if it's significant.
Yeah, so you never. So it's really interesting to get insight into how Roblox themselves thinks about their own business practices and about how they're viewed in the public eye. But I'll say it like this: I don't think they're to stop anytime soon.
No, definitely. Especially when, they control the lever for how much is paid versus how much they keep.
Yeah, and that's just the EULA that you agree to when you use the tools.
Yep, therein lies the fine print.
And herein lies the next segment that we're going to move to, and that's new games. And Drix, honestly, there's only one really new game. When it comes to new releases this week, the talk of the town is the return of the classic FPS MOBA Gigantic.
Ooh, Gigantic, the Rampage Edition.
From the Steam page, quote, Gigantic Rampage Edition is a premium and definitive release of the original 5v5 MOBA hero shooter. Let me put that up on the screen there for you all. Gigantic, that provides a dynamic and exciting team-based multiplayer experience for fans of both genres. Choose from a diverse roster of unique heroes, each with a set of upgradable abilities, and team up with 4 other players to control objectives and take down the opposing enemy team's mighty guardian, all while protecting your own. Gigantic Rampage Edition includes a new game mode, cross-platform play, new heroes, new maps, wow, and gameplay improvements that gives fans a bigger and more complete Gigantic experience than ever before, while welcoming new players to the action and fun-filled world of a hero shooter. And that one is available now, released yesterday, April 9th, for Steam, Epic Games, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series, and Xbox One consoles. Drix, I'm gonna jump on this probably after we get off of this. After we get off this call, this is the OG. This is the hero shooter that everybody remembers.
Yeah, not old reliable Team Fortress 2.
Not over. Hey man, that's Orange Box.
Yeah, but this definitely adds more of those like MOBA mechanics. Make you a little gamier in your builds and skill set that you apply here.
That's one of the things that was great about this game, is that it had that MOBA. I'll say it like this, Drix. A lot of these new games, even Overwatch is guilty of this. They flirt with the MOBA genre, right?
Yeah.
They flirt with what a MOBA is, but it's really, I could understand why you wouldn't want to jump head first into the MOBA idea. It's a pretty crazy idea.
Yeah. It's a lot to think about. A lot of layers.
And then you also have to think about what your team is doing and making sure that you can play you're paying enough attention, I should say, to play off of them when you can. Because you could totally miss windows all the time. Game sense is a huge deal.
How do you design synergy in a team? It's a lot of psychology to think about, not just tank, healer, DPS.
Right, exactly. There's a lot more.
Or you can stick to the old formulas.
True. Yeah, exactly. And get rid of all that stuff. Hey, just go play Overwatch. Fuck it. But that's Gigantic Rampage Edition, out right now. It's on everything. Go check it out. If you even, here's the thing, and I think I have to say it like this. If you even had a passing fancy, if you were one of these people who jumped on the Overwatch train, you jumped on the, you jumped on any one of these the Battleborn train, you jumped on any one of these hero shooter trains, the Paladins train, you jumped on any one of these, you jumped on any one of these trains, you kind of owe it to yourself to play this, because this is kind of where where most people believed that the climax of that idea went to. And also, I haven't played it quite yet, but from what I remember, man, it really did have that MOBA edge. You really did feel like you were playing like a first-person MOBA, like a I am the MOBA guy, as opposed to like clicking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, less right-clicking and more right shooting.
Yeah, less right-clicking and more left-clicking, as it would seem.
Yep, aim important for a variety of skills, magic or otherwise.
And speaking of magic, Drix, this ethereal sounding track in the background, what is this?
This is from Aero Fighters 3 in the arcade. It's the last boss song called Deja Vu.
Deja Vu, Aero Fighters 3. We'll be back with the last segment of the night. CFM Radio.
Gaming news.
Video game news.
CFM Radio. CFM Radio.
CFM Radio, we are back.
We are back and we are live. And man, we might be talking about Xbox after this Halo jam. But the song before that was Tokyo Night from Red Steel.
God, the first Red Steel game, a little rough around the edges, but man, if you are a Wii owner and you didn't play Red Steel 2, holy shit, you owe it to yourself to play yourself some Red Steel 2. That game on the Wii, one of the few games that honestly made me a believer in motion controls at the time, but alas, it was not meant to be.
No, sometimes the hidden gems gotta remain cult classics.
And indeed, but you know what? With services like Game Pass, Drix, it's easier than ever to find games like that can attain that status in cult classic-esque games, if you will.
Yeah, or at least hit a peak in popularity as a trend in gaming and see if they can ride it out.
And now, Drix, we've been hearing some negative things about Xbox Game Pass recently from developers, and that makes it seem like it's not the best idea for indie devs who are making the next big thing, who are trying to make the next big thing. How, we had we've heard it a couple of times, whether it's, we get one lump sum to get the game out there, and then we never get anything again, and people get to play our game on Game Pass for free forever, or you have people like over at Larian saying like our games are never going to come to Game Pass because our quality just exceeds that, whatever it might be. It's not exactly glowing receptions from Game Pass from the development community, right?
No, not from the people making the games so far.
However, in an interview with Edge magazine recently, Citizen Sleeper creator Gareth Damian Martin points to the Xbox reviews of the title for justification. Martin says, quote, "They all say things like, I don't play these kinds of games, but I tried it because it was on Game Pass, and I loved it." And that was a massive for Citizen Sleeper, the game that Gareth Damian Martin created. And the creator goes on to comment that, quote, "To be honest, I think Game Pass is keeping a lot of indie studios going right now." And Drix, this is a stark contrast from what we've heard over the last few months.
I like to hear it, but you know what? Kind of like pursuing a career in entertainment or music or art, it's like what works for somebody might not work for everybody. Not everybody takes the road to success, down the same path.
Oh, absolutely.
And, in the words of like Dave Grohl, you're a successful musician if you showed up, played, and people liked it. So
yeah,
if that's how you get on Game Pass, you show up, people play it, and they liked it, that makes you a successful game developer.
I tend to agree. And the creator Gareth Damian Martin, he makes a great point. Like, you look at the Game Pass, you look at those Game Pass reviews. He's capturing an audience. This person is capturing an audience that would have never checked this game out before. They would have never checked anything out like Star Citizen, or not Star Citizen. Oops, that's not it. It's Citizen Sleeper. I'm sorry. They would have never checked out Citizen Sleeper, and now they're comfortably. The creator says that the sequel will be sitting on Game Pass as well in the same interview in Edge magazine. So, there just seems to be, as far as the gaming industry goes, we're still in the heat of layoff season.
Yeah, rough and risky waters out there.
Yeah, insanely rough and risky waters out there. And at least from my point of view, I'm where you are, Drix. You just gotta show up. You gotta get the game out there, and the people need to play it. And if the people played it and liked it, it goes back to anything creative or any creative endeavor that anybody attempts to do. It's not exactly how many people it reaches. If it reaches a ton of people, fantastic, amazing. You spoke to the world. But even if it only reaches one person, then it was worth it.
Yeah. I mean, definitely don't hoard onto it. And let people experience your art and your creativity. It's a lot of people, even when asked about like piracy and stuff, and they're just kind of nonchalant about it. They're like, you know what? If you really want to play my game that bad, like, I want you to play it.
Yes. A lot of game developers will actually tell you they would rather pirate their game than buy it off of a site like G2A.
Yeah, or just not play it at all.
Just not play it at all. Like, and that's another thing. Like, if the piracy is a big deal to these game developers, their anti-piracy will let you know. You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of ways. There's plenty of ways for people to secure their bag. And if Game Pass is one of those ways that's going to let these people finish their games and get it out to the people, more power to them. We hear, like I was saying before, you heard the creator of Ori and the Blind Forest, and Ori Will of the Wisps, Xbox Game Pass, essentially mascots at this point.
Yeah.
When you think Game Pass, Game Pass regularly advertises Ori and the Blind Forest to me. So it's one of those things where I find it interesting that you have creators like that coming out and saying, hey, you know, Game Pass is cool and all, and it gave you this game, but it's not so great because it doesn't help me in the long run. Whereas you have the creator of Citizen Sleeper out here, and he says, fuck it, I reached a whole new audience that people wouldn't even think about, wouldn't even think about this game.
Yeah, you know, definitely not going to work for something like Baldur's Gate 3, you know, and how AAA your devs are. But I hope, you know, if Microsoft wants Game Pass to be a success, then yeah, they you know, present nice deals to these indie developers and secure them enough.
You know, it's one of those things where I feel like I don't know, I don't want to say anything that's like that sounds damning or too negative about it, because I don't want to give the wrong impression. But listen, if you're an indie dev and you want to get through right now, as tough as a time in the industry as it might be, and you need to get this game out there and you want to keep working in the industry, yeah, I don't know how viable it might be, but treating Microsoft like a publisher might be the way to go, right? If you're one of these indie devs, like, hey, Microsoft, can you give me, oh, look, our game did okay on Game Pass. Can we get the next game on Game Pass now too? You know what I mean? Like, that way you get more money to get it out there.
You know, just put your art out there.
Yeah, just put it out there.
One way or another. You know, if you have other plans, good, great, enjoy. But there's another avenue for you to take.
And you know what? The other avenue for us at CFM Radio to take is the avenue out. Because, Drix, I got to check out what this gigantic fuss is all about.
Yeah. Get some third-person action into your MOBA tonight. I wish you well. Good games.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. And thank you, everybody. Thank you for listening or watching tonight. Everybody who dropped in, everybody who's listening right now, thank you very, very much. Be sure to give us a like over here on this stream. Liking the stream is always a great thing to do. Subscribe to us right here on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/CFM on Twitch. We're going back to Retro Games. Retro Games starting up again on Tuesdays. Drix will have his streaming schedule imminently. We will post that up. Yeah, Mondays at 8 has been the jam.
Yeah, every other Monday once the next Pinball League starts off.
Sounds good to me. Drix will be the Mondays, I'll be the Tuesdays, and we are here Wednesdays with CFM Radio, video game, music, and news every week. The best video game news headlines and the coolest video game music spun by DJ Benham, aka Drix, right here with us.
Yo, yo. Always gathering fresh songs to play here on the show.
The freshest tracks for us here on CFM Radio. And be sure to follow us on all of our socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, right here on YouTube, and over on Twitch. Be sure to follow us on all of those things. We drop regular content, we drop regular updates for our content when it will be going live. And Drix, are you about ready?
Yeah, this has been a fun show and a fun evening, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you all next week. Have a great rest of your week. Game on, everybody. CFM Radio.